Hey, it's me again. Welcome to my fourth what if. You guys probably haven't seen the Wolverine one yet because it had an error loading, but that should be up probably by tonight or tomorrow. But like most of you people, including myself, you were interested in this idea after you probably saw X-Men Days of Future Past. If you were also My Hero Academia fan, and also if you like the ideas of uh, what if Deku had a different quirk. And you guys already know where this is going because not only did you click on this video, I'm also going to tell you. This is a what if Deku had the sentinels from Days of Future Past as a quirk. Now, I can't really find any pictures of like a base for them, like their headquarters, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Azuka Midoriya a few things to make it kind of work. Um, so how it will work is Azuka is able to create them. Their powers are the same. They follow his orders. They take down anybody who he sees as a threat or who they see as a threat, and they're able to adapt to it. That's why they're also called adaptoids from time to time. Um, for and you guys probably already saw the movie, so you know how they'll get from place to place. Those gigantic ships that carry, I believe, 8 or 10 of them. Um, and so sorry for that. I was just thinking. So yeah, he'll have them as a quirk, and for his base of operations that he's going to have Trask Industries. So he'll have that as a base. It will look more of a. It'll kind of look the same, but actually no, his base isn't going to be that. Hmm. Okay, never mind. So he's got the Sentinels as his quirk. He's able to make them where he'll hide. They'll he'll have like a layer, you could say. How he'll make it is he'll tell the few Sentinels he has to make an underground type of layer. It's never really going to be a layer. It's going to be more of a keep where he could store them. It's going to be gigantic though, because not only will hold most of his sentinels, it will also hold the ships that they fly in as. Now the ships don't only hold 8 or 10, they hold at least 3 levels of 10, so there will be 30 in each ship. Because if you saw the movie, they were in like an egg shape. Not as small as an egg, but like a circular, an oval shape, so they'll be able to kind of collapse. And how Deku finds this out is, you know, the usual thing with that some YouTubers do whenever he's got an army quirk. I'm also taking inspiration from another YouTuber. So he's at the, let's say, mall. Yeah, mall. He's at the mall with his mom. They're going around shopping for some new stuff. Izuku, as always, wanted some new All Might merch because he just loves All Might. And what happens is some villains show up. Now these villains call themselves the Brotherhood of. They just call themselves the Brotherhood because there's no mutants in this world. Not really. And so I'm gonna tell you what quirks they have first, so that you can understand. One of them's got a hardening quirk. They can turn into. They're like a. I can't remember his name. give me a second. If you hear some clacking of keys, you know why. Okay, let's see. It's gonna be here. Nope. Did not help. I think you know where I was getting at. Colossus, that's the guy. Sorry, it took me like a few minutes to do that, but anyway, so the guys that are there are a guy that has the powers of Colossus, another one with Iceman's powers, and then, let's say, someone with, why did I forget all these people? I just watched. Yeah, let's just say two villains attacked, Colossus and Iceman. Wait, that fire guy again, Firestorm, I don't remember his name. But 3 guys attacked, and Izuku, in a fit of, and just being scared, he wanted somebody to protect him, also to fend off against them. What happened was this gigantic metal man-looking thing sprouted out of the ground, and Colossus yelled at Iceman, "Ice, freeze that guy!" And so Ice guy tries to freeze it, and the Sentinel, or Adaptoid, as I'm just going to refer to them as, immediately adapts to, I believe in the movie he adapted to have fire, and so he walks up to Iceman, and Colossus is like, "Fire!" I mean, yeah, he's just gonna call him he's just gonna call him Firestorm. I know that's a DC character, but still. He asked him, "Firestorm, help him." He's like, "What am I supposed to do? The guy's made of fire. I can't manipulate it. It's not mine." He says, and Colossus says, "Dang it. Well, at least I can help." And right as he tries to go and help Iceman, another one punches him into the ground, turning his body into the same material that Colossus's body's made out of. And Colossus is like, "What the hell are you guys?" And in just this robotic, deep voice, they say, "We are the Sentinels." Just because it sounds so badass. And so Colossus is like, "Help us, man! This guy's made of metal now. Burn him!" And he goes to burn it, but he can't. It's not doing anything to it. It's adapted so that its metal is harder. And as they turn around to see if Iceman's okay, they see that the Sentinel has pinned him to the ground and is now burning him, and is now heating him up. And the other Sentinel is, you could say, putting Colossus into a pose where he's about to rip off his arms. And then the third one comes up, made of, I believe, diamond-looking things. I think that's what it was. And he punches the fire guy into the ground, knocking him out. And the other 2 immediately are just knocked out because of the pain that they're in. And the Sentinels all stop, and then just kind of, yeah, they just stop. And the heroes come, they're like, "Holy crap, what happened?" And what the people said is, they're like, these 3 sentinels, or what they're calling themselves, just popped out of the ground and just defeated those villains. And so the heroes go up to them and say, "Who are you guys? You don't look like you're from around here." And one says, "We are the sentinels." And you're asked again, "Where are you from?" And the sentinel turns around, points at Izuku, and says, "Him." And Izuku's like, "What? What do you mean me? I haven't even got my quirk yet." And as Izuku, and as la, 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 fuck. Inko. Jesus, I forgot all these people's names. And as Inko looks at her son, she's like, "This is your quirk? Neither me or your father have a quirk even similar to that." They're gonna have a little bit of a different quirk. His father's quirk allows him to make little objects, like a spoon or a fork, nothing like Momo. And his mom's quirk allows her to semi-adapt little parts of her body. She can adapt like like the tip of her finger, so that she could put it close to fire without getting hurt. So she can't really do it. It's kind of like that. Both of them have stuff that were incredibly amplified, so that Izuku could make the Sentinels. The quirks, instead of being a half and half, it's a mix. Some quirks from that are passed down are either, the same as their parents, or a mix. And you'll probably you've probably already clicked on a video of, hey, what if in 30 years this was to happen? You'd see that. Okay, never mind. In season 4, the news reporter said in 30 years the new quirk population will most likely have a half and half quirk, or a mix, and their bodies might not be able to withstand their quirks entirely because of how powerful they will be. Izuku, yeah, his quirk is just a glimpse of that 30 years, but his quirk had a jump. So instead of it, being 30 years in the future, it's still the same time period, but his quirk is as powerful as quirks would be in 30 years. Now, they're like, these sentinels, people said that they were able to adapt. We might need somebody a little strong just in case they do something. And so they call up All Might, saying, "All Might, sir, there are these 3 things calling themselves the Sentinels. They're able to adapt to, I think, anything. We're not really sure if they're hostile or not yet. Do you mind coming over here so that we could have some backup just in case?" He's like, "Of course I can. I'll be over there in a sec." Now Zuko's like, "How did I make these?" And we all know it's his quirk. So what happens is the Sentinels are like, "We will now leave. We will go to an area and set up a base of operations." And right as All Might touches down, the 3 Sentinels jump, kind of fly off, and they're like, "Hey, where are those Sentinel guys going?" And Izuku said, "I think they said that they were going to go make a base of operations." And they asked Izuku, "Hey, do you know where they're going? I mean, you made them." And he's like, "Nah. Even though I made them, I don't think I'm fully connected yet." So they're like, "Well, let's take you to the quirk doctor." Now, y'all know what I'm about to do. Izuku doesn't go to the same doctor. Y'all know why. Don't even ask. Because he would want that quirk. And so they say, "Yeah, kid, this quirk, it shouldn't be around for another 30 years, kid. Your genes are incredibly advanced. This quirk allows you to make what seem to be like adapting sentinel things. What the computer's saying are they're that they're sentinel slash adaptoids. What their powers are is that they're able to adapt to practically anything. They're able to kind of heal themselves with the remain. Like if you were to slice them and not all the way through to cut them in half, they heal back up. So, kid, this quirk is kind of powerful. I'm not really sure if you could be a hero with it. Not saying that you can't be a hero. I'm just saying that you might as well just be your own little army. And some heroes were there, and All Might's like, why not let him be a hero? He could do something. What if he becomes a hero and he gets his hero licensing? Then he's able to put these sentinels around the street, protecting people. And they're like, yeah, but at the same time, it's not really his quirk. His quirk is to make these things. If they use their power, it's their power. And almost like, well, they're not alive, are they? And Izuku says, it doesn't seem like it. It's like they were just drones following my orders. And the doctor says, well, that is true. They are drones. And Almond says, then why are you so, like, hurt about them not being able to, about the Sentinels being their own person? And he's like, well, I mean, they went off and did their own thing without Izuku having to tell him, and they engaged a group of villains and were able to subdue them without Izuku telling them to, do that. That means that they either have a preset program or that they thought about it themselves. So, you might see where this is going. People started to hear about it and they're like, yeah, this kid's quirk, I don't think he should be a hero. It's not really his choice. It should be the Sentinels, even though they are robots. And others are like, let him be a hero. It'll be good to have these Sentinels roaming the streets helping us. But all in all, what Izuku does is he kind of makes what could be a copy of himself. He makes a Sentinel about the same height as him. It looks like a regular Sentinel, you could say. And he tells it to go and enroll in the UA Academy. So it goes and does that. And so it passes and everything, and you might be wondering, hey, why isn't Izuku taking it? And the reason why is more people were like, this kid shouldn't be using these things as a way to get into UA. I mean, they're able to think for themselves, right? So what's going on is the same thing that happened in Star Trek with the androids. They're thinking, if they're able to think for themselves and do their own things, doesn't that mean that they're their own person? And people were like, yes, but they're still under his control. He tells them to do something, they do it without hesitation. And so people started thinking, well, it should be up to his decision, really, not us. And Zuko's like, I'm with the people that's saying that they're their own person. I mean, I don't, because Izuku had different thoughts now. He still liked All Might, but he didn't think that the quirk he was going to get would really make him a hero. And when Bakugo heard about this, he's like, this quirk sounds more villainous than mine. Able to just kill or subdue or kill anything just by adapting to it? That's kind of villainous. And so there was a ton of diversity about it. It was like when the mutant cure came out. We were like, yeah, let it be mandatory. And others was like, no, let them make the choice. And others were like, hey, how about they choose, but you can keep it or run. So some were like stuck on one path, some on the other, and some in the middle. But all in all, Deku chooses you could say, left path, because what this will do isn't really the right path, is what you could say. Now, quick side note, I will be doing another what if right after this, so yeah. Man, my throat is dry. Good chef. Anyway, what happens next is what some people may call what some people may call is pretty dang bad for Izuku. Not only were people kind of urging him to go one way or another, not only were people telling him that his quirk was villainous, but something incredibly bad happened to him. Something that would set him on a path that nobody really saw coming. What happened is there was a villain attack where Inko worked. Let's say she worked across the city. All Might went to go and help the people there because something had happened. A person with a shape-shifting ability had gone in and shot Inko because they thought that her kid shouldn't be a hero. So she sent a message to Inko by killing his mom that if you become a hero, this is the same fate you would have. All Might wasn't quick enough. Nor was Recovery Girl or the medics. They could not save Inko's life. The last thing that she said is make sure he doesn't go down a bad path. Now, once his dad heard about this, he was extremely depressed. He thought it was all his son's fault, even though it was kind of both of theirs, giving him, just having a kid at all, making a kid, and having it be him. But instead, he thought it was Izuku's fault for having this quirk. And so what he tried to do was he tried to kill Izuku. But the police were able to get there in time because the neighbors heard some clanging and stuff and some screaming. Now, they weren't able to kind of restrain Izuku's dad. And so he was able to get out of the grip and start running towards Izuku. And so, because they thought that he was going to kill him, because he was, they had shot him. Or a hero had used their quirk to kill him. So Izuku not only lost his mom because somebody wanted him not to become a hero. He lost his dad because his dad wanted to kill him because he thought he was responsible for his mom's death, and Hiro killed him. His dad. Now if that's not the most, not really the most, but if that's not traumatizing, I'm sure I know what is, but geez, that's gotta be traumatizing for a kid. And it is for Izuku at such a young age. He's about 5 or 6 now. And so, he just books it. He just starts running for the woods. Because they do live near the woods. Now, the 3 sentinels have already searched about all the heroes so they can instantly adapt before the hero even starts attacking them. And they already made a base. And they know what happened, so they they are able to find Izuku. They pick him up, say it's alright, just kind of comfort him, and then they just fly away. And everybody's like, we need to get that kid back. He needs help. And they're like, it seems like he's already got help. Because people were mad at him. So, Izuku's practically had a horrible life so far after he got his quirk. His mom's been killed, and he's been sent a death threat because of that. His dad tried to kill him, and his dad died. And then people wanted him, and people let him run away because they didn't want him to become a hero. Now you might be asking, hey, what happened to that sentinel he sent to UA? Nothing good. People were like, the people that wanted Izuku to go to the school took it off the streets, destroyed it, buried it after burning it. It couldn't repair itself. It was just completely destroyed. And anybody who wanted to salvage it, they couldn't. There was nothing to salvage. Besides, the software in it could not be rebuilt or even copied. So Zuko, pretty bad life so far. I mean, not the worst in any what if, but pretty bad for this what if so far. Now, I've already gone 25 minutes into this story. I'm gonna make this last part really quick, and I'm gonna make another what if. Zuko goes to the base that the Sentinels made. It's the same base that I was talking about in the beginning. And it's got a place for him to live, for him to learn and stuff. And what Zuko, we're gonna do a time skip. And what Zuko's been doing is he's been building up his intelligence. He's pretty dang smart now. Around either Lex Luthor, Batman, or Iron Man type of smart. Even you could even combine them and he might be that smart. That's how, because he's been learning about everything. He's got nothing to distract him at all. And other than that, he's also been building up his army, ready to go out for revenge. Now, some people have forgotten him, others bring it up from time to time, but nobody really dwells on the thing because they thought that Mother Nature took care of him. Oh boy, were they wrong. It wasn't Mother Nature that took care of him. It was his own monsters that did. And so, Zuko decides that, hey, you know, it's the 10th anniversary of my mother's assassination and my death, and my own assassination attempt, and my father's assassination attempt on me. Why not I show the world? No, probably just a pan, that I'm still here. Now, Zuko's kind of set on the same path that Overall was set on. He hates heroes. He just hates quirks in general. And so he's programmed his sentinels to kill anybody with a quirk except him. Even if they came in contact with Eri, a little kid that's been through hell, they would still kill her. Zuko doesn't care anymore. He's broken. He's been just shattered. All he wants to do is destroy the world that hates him. It's like how it's like how the world was to mutants. They hate them. They don't want them around. They want them gone. The world was like that to him, so he'll be like that to them. So what happens is he opens up the door, what you could call a sunroof, and all you see are these ships flying up out of the ground, hovering over cities, and just a siren, just a low siren. Just, you get the idea. Kind of like I'm not really sure what it is like. It's not like a nuclear bomb type of one. It's more of a scanning type of thing that some movies do. But that's all you hear. You just hear that sound, and people are like, "What is that sound?" And when they look up, they see these ships in the sky. Some know that they're screwed. Others are questioning what they are. The news channel has already started talking to it, and some people have tried to contact them, with no response other than, "We are the Sentinels, and we are here to bring balance, or to bring peace, or vengeance." Each time it's different, but people get the idea. Zuko's alive, and he's not happy. That's the end of the what if. Next what if will kind of be the war.